morning, Mr. Ridwan.
Good morning.
Welcome to Newsflow TV 247. As we can see, the world is moving fast. Where the world is trying to move away from crude oil to another source of energy, like electricity and gas. So, in that regard, our president just unveil like a 30 bus, we call it hybrid bus, so that Nigeria we can move away from using fuel, petrol, to like using CNG gas. What is your take on this? Is there any hope?
The first, like your intro, thanks for having me on your wonderful platform here.
You're welcome.
Like the first intro that you did, that one should serve as a wake-up call to most African nations. The world is moving away from fossil fuel, from petrol, and most African countries are dependent on fuel. So where is the vision for most African countries if, for example, fuel no longer becomes the determinant for many things again? When, for example, in Nigeria, our 80% revenue comes from fuel, from oil. Let me go back to history. Was it fuel that our father Awolowo used to develop the Southwest? No. Ibadan, those things. Then the fuel came. Fuel that was supposed to be a blessing is now a curse to Nigeria. So African countries, or most African countries especially, that have oil should stop depending on the oil. The time has come now for them to think ahead that the world is moving at a faster pace, and the world is not leaving anybody behind. People are now beginning to use green energy. African nations, Nigeria, Angola, Mozambique, that have oil, start thinking, start diversifying your economy. Because if oil is no longer invoked, how will a country like Nigeria survive? So our leaders should sit back, they should sit and think and develop a kind of strategy that will make countries like Nigeria to stop depending fully on petrol price. Now, to the question, can it work? Yes, everything can work if there's a political will for it to work. These CNG buses can work if there's a political will for it to work. I'm a kind of person, I'm always positive. I look at it on the positive side of life.
You're optimistic?
Yes, but it can work. You see, anything can work if we are willing to pay the sacrifices. Anything can work. But now, if it's not going to work, who are going to be behind it? It will never be an average man on the street. It is likely to be the who knows who, the big men. You know, I always tell all of you. When I talk about smuggling, simple question: who can smuggle? A poor man cannot smuggle. Take it or leave it. They must have backing of rich men. We talk about oil bunkering.
Oil thieves.
Who can be involved in oil bunkering? Is it a normal poor man on the street?
No.
No again. It's likely to be another rich people that may be sponsoring them. Lastly, talk about banditry. Who can sponsor bandits? Will it be the poor man on the streets? No. It's likely again to be the rich people in the country or anything. So if you think that
okay, but some is not cheap.
A man that calls a cattle hearer, a Fulani S-man using AK-47.
For about 1 million plus now.
Does it go hand in hand? Who is buying AK-47 for them? They are the politicians or the rich people or the elites. Or a poor man cannot be running cows of how much abusing AK-47. People should always look at the back end. And there are sponsors. There are sponsors of these things.
So if all hands are on desk, these hybrid buses and the way Tinubu is trying to shift people mind from fuel to CNG gas can actually work. That is
yes, it will work. it will all things happen. It will work if there's this how do I put it? There's that political will for it to work. If the government is not see, let me tell you something. There must always be consequences for things. If you catch anybody that is trying to be against it working, deal with that person decisively, and that person will not. That's the problem. There must be consequences
for every
yes, kind of for bad behavior. For every kind of corruption. But corruption does not necessarily mean stealing alone. Corruption again is, for example, you putting wrong people in power because they are from your tribe or religion.
Nepotism. Now,
the highest form of corruption is nepotism. It's you know this person cannot do anything, but okay, let me put him there because it's from my tribe and religion. It's as simple as that. So things can work if we can adhere to the rule of law in Nigeria
and do it properly.
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Rilwan, there is another law now, or another principle that Tinubu is forming about our workers, about our health workers, migration from Nigeria to every part of the world. It has been happening for so long, and they will be giving us figure of health workers that have relocated from Nigeria. Even some Africa, some people even go to some African countries. So this government is trying to bring in out some policy that will checkmate those kind of a thing. I've not read the major content of thing, but the way they are saying it, that it's going to respect woman freedom and also help Nigeria health sector. But to me, the way Nigeria government usually do their things, if they want to do something, they will look for one excuse to cut people's. But eventually what they promise, because in that thing they promise that there will be a conducive environment for workers and the remuneration and that. But to me, what do you see to those kind of things? It's like they want to checkmate our health workers traveling.
You cannot checkmate anybody. You see, they always find a way to survive. Water is flowing. You say, okay, you don't create a channel for the water to flow. You now build a big wall. The water, after that, it
find another way.
Because it must pass. The people that they go to school, they study medicine for like, is it 7 or 8 years?
7 years.
And then,
let me tell you, medicine on its own, you spend like 6 years. You do housemanship 1 year.
Yes.
Then you now go for residential. It's a long journey for almost 8-10 years.
So now, somebody went to school, 10 years of his life was taken away from him, and that person cannot afford basic amenities. In his country, even a political thug is earning money. In this country, is so-called Yahoo boys, so-called anybody, even SSAs, that are not offering any value to the economy or any money. But him that is saving life cannot earn money. And it's opposite to earn money abroad. If it's your brother or sister, will you tell him to stay? But that's also, they will always find a way. They will always find a way.
Even if you block that way, they will create another way.
It's as simple as that.
Because they were like, they are going to be a swap.
Yes.
If you any country that want to employ a medical personnel from Nigeria, we swap with maybe another medical personnel from his own side, which I think it will be very difficult because of what we can see on the ground in Nigeria. Yes. Do we have medical equipment that can contain all these things that they are talking about?
We are not ready. Unless there's investment in education, there's investment in health
sector.
Yes, sir. I told you, I said only 2 things can make Nigeria better. 2 things. Okay, they're not many. Number 1, let it be made a law that any elected official, anybody that's elected, vice elected, cannot travel abroad when he has medical challenges. Number 1. Number 2, all the children should school in Nigeria. Give Nigeria 2 years. You'll be surprised at the fast pace of development because it will affect even roads. It will affect power. You'll be surprised. But because here problem, Dubai, there was a time that the former president, his wife, Aisha Buhari, said they spent over billions of naira in Abuja that even one Panadol is not there.
There's no paracetamol.
I not say it. Go and meet.
Aisha Buhari.
Aisha Buhari. I'm here. I'm really one. So it's as simple as that. But if you invest in healthcare, you invest in education, in a nation, but that is the future of that nation.
So it's not about even making the policy, it's about making the enabling environment for the kind of a thing. Making policy is just like you are making noise.
Yes.
If you say you want, even to the extent that they say some of our people that are abroad, some of them will come back. But come back to come and meet what? What facility do you put on ground?
Until we take governance serious in Nigeria. I'm not doing job make a job. Look, Nigeria went to the Olympics. We didn't win anything. 12 billion naira wasted.
Very unfortunate.
A country, St. Lucia, 200,000 capacity, people are living there. That country is not bigger than Ogba. They won one gold and one silver. Nigeria went to the Olympics. A cyclist, no money to buy bicycle. Yes.
How much is bicycle?
A German person now gave out the bicycle.
How much is bicycle?
12 billion naira. In Nigeria,
it's not funny.
Until we take governance serious, until we are ready. Okay, this time let us even be ready. All this religiosity, all this playing, we just come to deceive ourselves, and the nation will not move forward. But let us be serious. Let us have targets. This is what we want to achieve in Nigeria. This is how we want to drive this nation forward. You'll be surprised to see that Nigeria can actually go forward, and we can also go places.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ridwan.
God bless you, sir. Thank you for having me.